Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our subject readings in Philippine history. We are now in our last discussion for this chapter. Again, we are still in our chapter 5, Doing History, a Guide for Students. So again, this chapter focuses on applying skills we have learned in the previous chapters in writing history. So we still have the same learning objectives, and our discussion for this video presentation will be about first, doing life histories and biographical research, doing local and oral history, and interacting with history through historical shrines and museums. So now let's start first with the doing life histories and biographical research. So doing life histories and biographical research involves the personal narratives and experiences of individuals to understand sa mga intricacies of their lives. And of course, researcher gathered detailed accounts of significant events, relationships, and influences that have shaped a person's identity and trajectory. So through interviews, mga archival work, and mga analysis, ang kanyang approach, mag-offer siya og a profound insight into the complexities of human existence, shedding light on themes such as identity information, the social dynamics, and historical context. So, isa na siya, ha? So, this discussion as well, no, kaning doing life histories and biographical research, it serves as a powerful tool for understanding individual lives with a broader social and cultural frameworks, providing a rich materials for academic study, historical documentation, as well as our personal reflections. So let's start. So studying history often prioritizes the narratives of nations and collective groups. Ano siya? But there's a growing recognition of the importance of individuals' perspectives. Life histories and biographical research a way to offer a way to a personal experiences and contributions of individuals within broader historical context, enriching our understanding of the past. And studying of the life of an individual is often incidental to a greater event that has been significant to the life, to a larger unit that he or she happened to contribute. So individuals' lives, are frequently intertwined with significant historical events or movements that affect a larger groups or society. So studying an individual's life can provide insights into a broader context of these events, mga o say impact ani on both the individual and the larger unit they contributed to. And also, this approach allows gihapon sa mga historians to understand how personal experiences intersect with broader historical forces in reaching our understanding of history at the both individual and mga collective levels. So life history is an oft neglected subdiscipline of history because it is seen as a trivial to larger narratives of nations, societies, and civilizations. Tinuod ni siya, no, nga ang life history can sometimes be overlooked within the broader discipline of history, as it may seem uh, less significant compared to a narrative involving nations, societies, or civilizations. So, life histories offer a unique perspective on history by focusing on individual experiences, individual perspectives, and the individual's contribution. But however, student of history, Kamone, should realize that the individual is a significant contributor to a various historical breakthroughs across time. So, ano siya? Next. Next is individuals may societies and individuals' actions can cause large-scale social change. And individuals' influence can span centuries and generations. Individuals can also influence large spaces and many places. So it emphasizes no the significant role of individual in shaping the society and causing large scale change, social change. And it highlights how the collective actions of individuals can lead to transformative shift in the society over time. So additionally, kanipod siya, it underscores po ni siya sa idea that individuals have the power to influence not only their immediate surroundings, but also broader spaces and future generations. So in essence, it emphasizes the agency and impact of individuals within the larger context of society. For example, si Jesus Christ is an individual, di ba? He influenced the whole world. And the faith in the region that he started also launched wars, created civilization, lasted for many centuries, and persists up to the present. And like for example, on the other hand, Jose Rizal had influenced many generations of Filipinos. Ang iyahang mga novels inspired radical Filipinos to fight the colonizers. And ang iyahang pagkapatay was seen as the tipping point of revolution. However, ang iyahang influence was limited to the Philippines. And kaninga mga example no are cases of exceptional individuals that history has proven that their lives, their exploits, ang ilahang mga legacies had a huge impact sa society kung asa sila nabilong. Nevertheless, the writing of life history should not be limited to great individuals like heroes, prophets, or world leaders, but sa tanan ni siya. Okay? Ang writing of life history, di ba? As what you remembered during our prelim, na oral recitation ta of your life story. Okay? Ordinary individuals should also be able to locate themselves in the pages of history. Na space. And one should see himself as a part of the larger history and not a separate and remote entity and affected by what is happening around him. And of course, doing life histories should be accompanied by locating the life of individual in a larger social life. But accompanied siya with that. Indeed, people's interest in history can be perked up once they realize na ang ilahang kinabuhi can be plotted alongside the trajectory sa history in a larger nation, in a larger society, or even sa kanang naa sa local community. There is, after all, a mutual constitution between history and biography. No, biography, ano siya. However, doing a life history is not an easy task. It's not a very easy task yun siya, no? Because you're going to validate if that is true. May mga validation mahitabo. Kung primary source ba dapat gamiton, secondary source, or you are going to apply the historiography. So the researchers should be able to identify different factors that affected the life of the person B is trying to study. So dapat mangita kag mga factors nga nagpamatuod nga mao dyan na ang life story sa kana nga person nga imuhang gi-study. So some social scientists would lament the studying individuals tend to be more complicated than studying societies. Kay grabe man ang pag-study ni mong individual, imo mo jud i-trace back kung asa jud siya gikan. No? And individuals are distinct, unique, and very dynamic. That is true, Mampod, that the life of historian or the biographer should identify ng mga aspect of the individual's life in order to properly historicize sa kana nga kinabuhi. For example, studying the life of Jose Rizal does not only require looking at the big events in his life that affected the nascent nation, like the publication of his novels, his exile to Dapitan, or his execution in Bagumbayan. So a more thorough understanding sa Rizal's life necessitates looking at the different aspect sa kinabuhi ni Rizal that affected sa iyahang persona. Example, ang iyahang family background, iyahang education background, iyahang mga peers, iyahang mga travels around the world, ang iyahang mga affections. And in relation to this, one should also look at the context kung asa si Rizal existed. And it is worthwhile to ask, for example, about Rizal's hometown. What were the characteristics of Calamba, Laguna in the 19th century? Unsay mga characteristics aning lugar ni Rizal? Unsa ang mga common livelihood sa iyang town? Was it a rich, progressive municipality, ang kaning Calamba, Laguna? What was the terrain like? Or was it in agricultural locality? So, mooni ang mga possible questions that you are going to ask if you're going to study the life of Jose Rizal. So these questions now will give context to to Rizal's childhood and his family background. So speaking of family, so doing a life history of an individual will also lead to a question about his family and genealogy. Kung asa siya gikan, no? Indeed, that family is an important aspect of an individual. That is true. And it determines the person's ma-determine na to iyang social economic status, ang iyahang religious belief, ang iyahang character, iyang attitude, iyahang mga interests, ang iyahang pong mga value system. So institutions where the individual belong should also be looked at in studying his life history. So apil gihapon siya. So if the family of the community were asa nabilong sa Rizal, or asa nabilong ang atong studyhan, will give us clues about his early life. And the latter stages of his life can be understood with certain activities and learning nga he affiliated in different institution like asa siya nag-school, elementary, Anthony graduate, sa college, nag-lawyer ba siya, iyang mga organizations nga iyang ipang-atinan, nag-attend mo siya mga fraternity, o sa iyang mga asa iyang religious belief, kung asa siya magsimba, and of course, sa iyang interest sa groups or sa iyang interest as an individual. So in the same example, getting to know Rizal's life and genealogy would tell us about Rizal's socio-economic status. Kung unsa jud ang socio-economic status ni Rizal. So such will answer other questions about Rizal like how did he afford to study in good schools in Manila even though he was an Indio? Ma-question nato na siya. And what were his interests in the Calamba Hacienda incident, who instilled upon him the value of education, and who was his greatest influence. So mao ni siya ang mga some questions na atong i-ask in studying about the results lang. So marag nag-focus dito kang result diri ano. So for example, one can learn a lot about the development of his ideas by knowing the kind of education taught at the Universidad de Santo Tomas and Ateneo Municipal. So ang iyahang political opinions and biases shape his work with the propagandist no, in Europe and in his ang iyahang mga stint in La Solidaridad. So institutions, no, indeed are not only shaped by individuals because institution also shape individuals. And other aspect that may be studied in order to come up sa mga deeper life history, no? Sa mga sector, sa ethnic group, and culture, and sa mga even individual, no? Dapat natin i-zoom out or zooming out to the national history sa country where ang kanang individual identifies with is also helpful yun kayo siya in studying life histories, no? And biographical research. So understanding these seemingly mundane aspects of an individual's life would provide historians insightful information that will allow him not just to simply state facts about the individual, but also to make sense of these facts and establish connections about mga different aspect of the individual's life in order to understand the person that he has become. So overall, no, ang kaning doing life history and biographical research, no, it play, no, it play a vital role in capturing the complexity and diversity of human experiences, enriching our understanding of the past and informing contemporary discourse and action. So by honoring individual stories and voices, researchers no, contribute to a more inclusive and nuanced understanding of history and sa society. Now, moving on in doing local and oral history. So the history subjects and courses usually taught students in schools are Philippine history, world history, and history of Asia. So the coverage is always expansive and taught in broad strokes and historical periods of a large spaces and of prominent personalities. So mo dyan nato ang kasagaran no? In studying history, initiate in studying history. So little is known about subdiscipline of local history. So if you say local history, no, it is the study of history of a particular community or a smaller unit of geography. So debates, however, continuously persist on the definition of this subdiscipline, particularly in the subject of its study. So again, take note, ang local history na, mo na siya study of history in a particular community or a smaller unit of geography. So, question. Does local history study local communities, local institutions, local groups, or local heroes? So, in a recent studies, local history daw tends to cover all of these topics. Cover ni siya tanan. Local historians nag-ingon nga the study of history of local institution like churches. So they also study the local economies, local heroes, and local events. And local history thus is also a broad and dynamic field of inquiry nga nag-aim siya to have a depth understanding of a certain locale. And the most compelling questions, however, is why study and do local history? So in the first chapter, no, na kung ano nato ni we discuss how history could serve as a repository of collective memory. So such memory is important in for wait lang one. Such memory is important in foregoing of national unity through identification with a common collective past. And nevertheless, no, nationalism, like other ideologies, when taken into extreme, can produce the most horrendous of human tragedies. So the atrocities of the Second World War that killed 6 million Jewish people in Europe, no, for example, one example, were perpetrated by an extreme nationalist rhetoric propagated by Nazi Germany. So totalitarian states at present, like North Korea, also use nationalism in justifying the dictatorial and anti-democratic character sa country. And in these cases no, of extreme nationalism, history is being used by states in forms of official national history to rally the people behind them. Therefore, a local history can serve as a balancer of these tendencies by showing the peculiarities in certain locales in particular nation, region, and even continent. And uh, okay. So studying local history can prove new alternative interpretations on the different aspects of nation's history. So local history also facilitates a historical narrative emanating from the people. So historians call this history from below. So ultimately, no, studying local history shall provide mga new provisions in perspective on already established national history. So what used to be generalizing narrative of the nation would start to recognize certain nuances and uniqueness in the experience of people coming from different localities in the nation. Thus, ang local history is not just aimed at opposing discourse in the national history, but also it is a tool of enriching this national narrative. So doing local history is not an easy task. Despite the seemingly smaller scope of study, ang historians are often faced of mga different challenges in locating sources for local and specific objects sa iyahang study. So for example, it is much easier to study the life of national heroes than a local heroes. Kay lisod kayo i-locate ang mga local heroes no, while the life of a national heroes dali lang siya kay existing siya and we can do searching online. So sources abound on subjects of national importance but tend to be scarce of local subjects. Nevertheless, this limitation should encourage historians na mag-innovate and recreate local historical methodology. And one important historical methodology to local history is ang oral history. So what is this oral history? Ang kaning oral history is important in the midst of scarcity in written sources, historical documents, and other material evidences. So importante ni siya kung kulang ang mga written sources. This method uses oral accounts like historical subject, witnesses, members of the communities, and the like. And oral history primarily relies on memory. No, na siya sa itong una-una, na-retain sa itong una-una. The subject of the informant will recount sa iyahang mga experiences to the researchers as he remembers it. So the other instances, no, the informant will rely with what he learned from his ancestors or older members if the community of the historians. And the nature and definition of oral history, no, it calls positivist historians or those who subscribe to the belief that ang history should be primarily based on written documents to criticize the methods of oral history. So memory is seen as something that is faulty and inaccurate. So at best, no, positivist historians see oral accounts as mere supplement to the history written from written documents. However, one cannot discount the importance of oral history in writing the history of underprivileged sectors and communities like the urban poor or indigenous people. So these groups are usually left out on records. They were documented because of their mga status. And in these instances, it is the task sa historian, no, to search for alternative methods, make another ways that will capture the experience and collective past of these communities. So oral history plays this role. So local and oral history are important and involved in the development in enrichment sa discipline sa history. And ang kanina mga efforts, no, it fill the gaps in the discipline by highlighting the alternative areas of the study and methodology toward a more holistic, inclusive, and progressive study of the past. So overall, ang doing local and oral history, no, research plays a vital role in preserving, celebrating, and interpreting the diverse story and experiences that shape our community. So by valuing local knowledge, i-honor nato ang mga oral traditions and engaging with community stakeholders, researchers contribute to a more inclusive, democratic, and empathetic understanding of history and society. Now we are now nanata sa ato ang last part na, last na ni siya nga topic. Interacting with history through historical shrines and museums. So I know some of you right now visit now with museum and shrines in Caraga region. We are doing local history. So we have been discussing ways to study the past through a variety of sources available to us. While research is a valuable tool to learn more about the experiences of the nation and our history, there is venues where we can experience history. And these are through historical shrines and museums. So these venues, no, historical shrines and museum for living history, provide us a certain level of authority and trustworthiness that could impact the way we view the past. So through interacting with artifacts such as the World War II, rifle the plots of the Filipino hero, we can better imagine the past beyond the mere letter and words we read and painstakingly memorize. So, ang kanipong mga tangible object are reconstruction of the past, mga tangible objects na makita nato sa shrines and museums, no? Experiencing these artifacts directly is the next best thing to actually being there when a particular event happened or when a historical personality live. So this first-hand experience make historical events more real for us. No, di ba? When you visit a museum, when you visit a different shrine, marag, it's a great experience nga imuhang ma-experience in studying the Philippine history. And research shows that learning by experiencing aids with retention of learning later in life. So, ma-retain dyan na siya, no? Kung naatay, we're doing action in doing research. So, historical shrines and museums serve as portals to the past, but one must also take note that visiting a museum entails preparation. So, maunang, as your instructor, I am collaborating, no? We are collaborated with the National Museum of Butuan City, no? Nag-collaborate ta dito para maka-request o tour guide para naay mo guide sa inyo ha and to explain kung unsa ni siya nga mga artifacts. So in the course of your study, you are bound to visit one or two of these sites. So we'll make it four, di ba? Apat ka buok ang inyong i-visit. So once you know what you will be visiting, it is essential to do a background reading of the place you will visit so that you may know what to expect and you can situate the importance of the place you will be visiting in the national historical narrative. For example, a visit to Rizal Shrine in Calamba, Laguna. Medyo layo lang po kayo siya, no? Pero naapoy ato dito sa Plaza Ginguna Park. Will be more enriching if you are able to do a little reading about Jose Rizal's early life. So just like what ako ang gipabuhat sa inyo ha, nga na ay mga questions po kay para makabalo jud mo the background of that place or places. So upon arriving in the historical shrine or museum, no, one thing that you can do is to look for historical marker. Ano historical marker? Marami tawag lapida, pero di siya lapida. Marag something lapida lang nga yung makita nga kung saan siya about. No? So these markers put up by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, or formerly National Historical Institute, or NHI, provide the basic details on what makes a certain site historical. Ano siya. And ang kanipod nga mga markers, no, nag-ensure ni siya that the site where it is located is indeed of historical and cultural value to the nation. So the instructor or professor kami who handles sa kaninga subject or course who will organize your visit to shrine or museum. So mo tong nakipag-collaborate sa museum should provide you with a handout or a worksheet to accomplish while in the site. Mo to naghatag po og mga questions na inyong i-accomplish sa inyong final project, and maybe nag-assign you to write a reflection paper. So wala na reflection paper, but you're going to make a video presentation nga inyong reflection when you're going to visit those sites. And that is why it is important to spend time reading the captions, text accompanying the artifacts or exhibit in display. So some museums and shrine allow mobile photography and may even encourage you to take selfies while in this site. So, mga ako na po gihatag sa inyo ha kung sa mga rules and regulations shared sa Museum Butuan City. So take the opportunity, guys. Take the opportunity to be able to retain more of the information being presented by these sites so that you may be guided once you are to write the paper required sa inyong instruct. So shrines and museums are a lot more interactive now, aided by the available technology. Take the chance na dapat makaparticipate in sa katong mga activities and mga opportunities to experience history firsthand. That's why I'll be giving additional points kung kinsa tong makaadto sa National Museum Butuan City. So watch the videos, listen to the sounds, and enjoy the experience, no? Because this is also a great chance to analyze the artifacts, since artifacts are also texts that are open for reading, interpretation, criticism, and evaluation. So overall, interacting with history through historical shrines and museum, no, enriches our understanding of the past. It promotes a cultural appreciation and identity, and it fosters connection among individuals and communities. So by preserving and presenting historical artifacts in narratives in accessible and engaging ways. So museums would also play a vital role in shaping our collective memory and appreciation of a human history. So that is the interacting with history through historical shrines and museum. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Thank you so much for your attention, your participation, your presence in watching all of those videos in our um, course, Readings in Philippine History. I hope that this video recordings help you to better understand our discussion. So I'll be giving what's this? Yes, I'll be giving a bonus to those to a student for every section nga pinakauna nga nag-watch ani nga video og naka-apas ani nga last part nga to write down your complete name as well as your course, year, and section because I'll be giving you an additional 30 points in the final examination. So there, isa lang in every section. So kung kisa to makatanaw at the end of this, no, nga nakadungog ani nga announcement, you are lucky. Lucky kayo ka. So now, write your complete name in your course, year, and section. Okay, para uh, matagan na akong additional points. So, paunhanay ni siya, one lang in every section. Thank you so much and have a great day. Thank you.